What is up, guys? This is Tcg Sam here, and in today's video I'm coming at you guys with a duel replay of a deck that I think kind of got boosted pretty hard by the DAMA majesty set, because it gave them ready fusion or retort fusion. It's pretty much what this card does. For those of you who don't know, it's essentially like an instant fusion for normal monsters. Pay 1,000 life points, special summon 1 level 6 or lower non-effect fusion monsters from your extra deck, and has the same restrictions. So you may be wondering, what good is a vanilla extra deck monster going to do for you? Well, if you look at Kaminari attack, initially you may think, oh, what is this regular? Sure, it's a Thunderbolt. Why does that matter? Well, for a card like Thunder Dragon Titan, you can just you can special summon it by banishing 1 Thunder monster from your hand and 1 Thunder Fusion monster. So essentially, Ready Fusion plus any Thunder monster gives you a Titan, and then you get the Thunder monster's effect, which should be pretty good. Now, I'm not saying this deck is meta changing or defining by any means, but I think it has some potential, and I guess I'll show you guys what it can do in just a moment. So stay tuned for that. Alright, so welcome to the duel, guys. So essentially, if you've seen the deck list, some of it doesn't really look clean, in my opinion. Like, it's not very optimized. It was kind of like an initial build that I was theory crafting in my head, and I was testing it like in this game. So I guess you're gonna see what this deck can really do. So our opening hand is Warlords, Thunder Dragon Fusion, Duel, Hawk, Prosperity. So it's not great. We're against Virtual World. Their hand is Qinglong, Lili, Gigi, Keller, and Chuchi. Their hand is pretty nice. For going first, going second, depending on the deck they were playing against, they would probably auto lose. But since they're playing against Thunder Dragons, it doesn't particularly matter. So Prosperity is very important in this deck, because you're gonna see we're gonna have quite a few clunky hands like this, where it's just a bunch of Thunder monsters. The Thunder monsters, like, alone, they don't do enough. Like, back when Colossus was a thing, like, Thunder was pretty good, because even if you kind of bricked, you could, like, activate a Dark Effect, normal summon Matrix, make Colossus, that's not even that bad. But nowadays, you actually have to make some plays, so it's for that reason we max out on Lupine. It gives us a lot of ways to banish our Thunder Dragons, which is huge. Essentially, we banish 2. Which is really good. So I start with Lupine effect, banishing Roar from deck, and banishing Hawk from hand. So essentially what this does, you banish 1 monster from the deck with the same type as that monster, so banishing 2 Thunders. Roar is really good, it allows us to summon Dark, and then Hawk is going to fix our hand, shuffling away the 2 bricks in our hand, draw into copy Instant Fusion of Hawk. So it's not great, not terrible. Essentially, a lot of the time our turn 1 plays are not going to be like super insane or anything. You can see here, this is just a basic hand. If you were to resolve a single Lupine, this is usually what you end with. Anaconda, Titan, Thunder Dragon Fusion, and Grave, which is a very good follow-up in this deck. And possibly at least one way to trigger Titan on your opponent's turn. So Titan not only is a very big monster, essentially it's like a Dryden. That is sort of worse because your opponent can like chain stuff to like get rid of it, but we set Rivalry. Rivalry, in theory, is really good against the meta decks, but against Virtual World is not super great. I decided to allow him to negate Titan, because I figured if I pop Qinglong, it's not really great, because it essentially gets stuff into the graveyard that allows him to search for like the correct type under Rivalry, if that makes any sense. He sends... He uses Gigi, sends Nian Nian, and attempts to summon Nian Nian, yet you cannot do that, unfortunately. That would be broken if you could. And then he activates Lili, which is unfortunate for us, because Lili is also a worm, so we can't really stop that. But luckily for me, I thought it was pretty good that he sent Shanwu here and Qinglong, because I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have Chuchi to up-magic the level, but unfortunately, he hard drew probably the 2 of Chuchi, so he discards it, and he's able to manipulate the levels to out the Rivalry Warlords, which is just kind of problematic. Luckily for me, though, he's still not able to out the Titan unless he goes for Zeus, so lucky me, I guess. What I do here is probably incorrect. What I should have done is just probably switch Titan to attack, swing into Zeus. He's gonna chain Zeus, obviously, sending everything, and then I would have so many more resources in my hand. I can still out the Zeus mid phase 2 with like, I keep Matrix in my hand as like a disruption, so I really don't know what I was doing. I could go like, oh, normal summon Matrix, turn to Link Karibo, instant fusion, Matrix search, instant fusion, summon Kaminari, banish Hawk, and then use Hawk effect next, summon something back or something, and then pop the Zeus, and then I still have a pop in my hand, which is, you can see, is gonna be huge. here I just kind of waste my pop for no reason trying to force it out. It just doesn't make sense. So there's a misplay on my part that eventually probably cost us the game, because he stops the Titan. Doesn't particularly matter because we still kill it, but his hand is playable next turn. So from here we pretty much just lose the game. He goes Yugioh. If he sends Titan, I just lose. I have no way to get out of it. So going to game 2, I make him go first just because I don't have my side cards going first are like ways to like banish a lot of monsters and stuff, but his deck doesn't particularly care about that, so I decided to make him go first. I think the extra card would be beneficial. You can see he decided very heavily for going second as well, which works out really well for us. He activates, he just goes through his like regular combo. Charge Warrior draws into Lulu, Nian Nian, Lao Lao, and then I nib him here. But like, I don't know why he scoops, because he still has a Tcg pop because Nian Nian's getting banished. He has Nian Nian and Qinglong banished, and he still has a Lulu for next turn. So I was thinking, so like, at least a Tcg pop. I think he should have tried playing it out because I don't even know if I would have won that game. But anyways, going into game 3, our opening, I decided to keep in Warlords going second because I figured against his deck, he's going to be summoning a lot of different types if he goes for like the Crystal Wing combo and the Zolkin Crystal Wing into Caliga or Dragoon or whatever. I thought Rivalry might be decent, so I kept it in. Our opening hand is Rivalry, Ash, Matrix, Prosperity, Thunder Dragon, so it's not great. And you can see here, this is one of the problems of this deck. If you don't open Lupine, like, it becomes kind of problematic because, like, what are you really doing with these Thunders in hand? You kind of need Lupine to banish stuff from your deck, so unfortunately or activate a Ready Fusion or something to be able to banish Thunders. That's kind of a problem with this deck. You can consider playing cards like Allure of Darkness, but it clashes with Prosperity, and I don't really like cards that do that. Our opponent's opening hand is Lulu, Ash, Teleport, Veiler, Gamma, so it's not super great. E-Telly's out, Nian Nian activates Lulu by Ash. He's just forced to normal summon it, otherwise his Nian Nian loses value. Funny thing is, this deck actually can't out this card when it, because it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects when they have 2 or more monsters in the graveyard with the same original type and attribute, being Nian Nian and Lulu. So funny thing is, I actually can't out this card, which is really bad for me, unless Unicorn is my only out to it, which is really bad. I've just failed to consider that this deck struggles to out stuff that can't be disrupted by or card effects. But you can see that our opponent ashes our Prosperity, and you can check the Prosperity banish if you want. But yeah, it's just really unfortunate because we're not able to get the Lupine that we need. But what can you really do? Make Link Rebo, search Matrix. I set Rivalry, hope for the best. He draws Strong Move. It sucks for him. He's not top decking really well. I thought like Ready Fusion, and here you can see like kind of the power of Ready Fusion. Essentially, it turns our brick hand into something that's actually very, very playable and something that's pretty decent. I asked for anything here because if he drops Lancia, we are kind of screwed. We're kind of screwed if he drops Lancia. But we banished the War from our hand, summon Titan, and in normal circumstances it'd be insane because we get a free Dark. Summoning it out. We could, in theory, let the Dark return to hand from Roar Effect. If this was something we can beat over, we can just swing over it, and then have 2 pops on our opponent's turn, which is just huge, and Rivalry, which is huge, but from here, I normal summon Matrix and the Dark. I do not play a third Matrix, so the Matrix doesn't get any value. We search Hawk, and here I try to out this card because he has a way to out my Titan next turn if I don't out it. So essentially, I'm forced to go for Unicorn. Activate Hawk, summoning Roar. He changed Veiler. I'm not really sure why he does that. I think like he might believe that Titan is able to pop it. Like I don't know if he realizes that his thing is invulnerable, because he most definitely should have waited for me to use Verti Anaconda's effects. Because here, if he just either Veilers my Anaconda when it's Infusion, or he Veilers my Unicorn, then I'm kind of like dead, dead. So like, what am I can't really do anything about that. So you can see here, we struggle to out a single Juju, which kind of is a problem in this deck, but it shouldn't come up that often in the format. Anyways, Unicorn, Titan, swing. Our monsters are pretty big, thankfully. That's like the one thing going for us. It's very easy for us to summon a 3200 beater, which means against the Dragoon decks, if you activate Instant Fusion or Ready Fusion, your opponent actually has to negate it. Otherwise, you can just swing over the Titan, because Titan's just bigger. Our opponent top decks Qinglong. Unfortunately for him, there's not much he can do. Just scoops it up. So I just want to say, although this deck definitely has its issues, consistency, a little bit of power issues, I definitely think it has a lot of potential with a Ready Fusion. You saw how powerful this card is in this deck, especially. It gives it a huge boost. Now, if Colossus came back to 1, this deck kind of insane in my opinion, but who knows what Konami will do. If they brought back Engage, who knows. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the deck in the description below. I will state this once again, I'm not claiming this is like some broken thing or new meta or whatever, so keep that in mind. But yeah, with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.